Hi, folks. So just woke up. You can probably hear it in my voice, and I wanted to just capture this insight or this feeling or this thought. And for me, one of the hardest parts of my day, generally, I would say, or challenging parts, is when I wake up in the morning. I've spoken about this before, briefly. I wanted to just dive in a little bit deeper in it. And why it is difficult for me is, well, because again, the nature of dreams and so much going on in a dream, and it kind of be overwhelming at times, because my dreams are very intense and I dream every night, all the time. And when I wake up again in this world, it all feels very bizarre and weird and foreign. And not only that, but the dream is fresh, so I'm sort of paying attention to how I'm feeling. What is the impact of the dream? What do I remember of the dream? What is the dream telling me? What was going on in the dream? And then I wake up in this world, and there's another story that's happening, and I'm being met with another story. And let's say if there's people around my house, again, I don't want to get into too much details of my living setups and whatever it is, just confidential a little bit, and there's people around and they expect me to be a certain, again, not, I don't really have to wear a mask, but there is a bit of, it's not an insincerity necessarily, but it's like, I don't know, just with people in general, I found that others who maybe aren't not authentic, but just aren't making, how do I put it? You know what I mean? Like they're just not disingenuine. They're not maybe very conscious, let's say, and so for themselves, they're still working with a lot of mask. Let's put it that way, and they don't. It's not easy for them to understand somebody who is operating from consciousness or awareness, so to speak, in a sense, or depth, in a way. They're very on the surface of things a lot of the time, and so that's how they operate, right, on surface level of things, and so that's the kind of way that they are. And anyways, I can't, but I think you know what I'm saying. And so for myself, again, it's not like, hi, good morning, oh, how did you sleep? That's, it's not like that at all, but it's just like, I just feel this way. I feel like sort of groggy. I feel, sort of a bit dazed and confused, and I've got to take it slow. I need to catch my breath. And they could be like, okay, the day's running away. We've got to do this, we've got to do that. And you're like, just please bear with me, understand like how I'm feeling right now, and they're like, no, come on, jump in the shower, let's just say, or something like that, or they're fighting with you from the day before, and you in a conflict or something happened, and then they're giving you a hard time, and they're not talking to you, and you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm dealing with this now, having to deal with this situation now, or they're very moody in that day, and you're like, oh, I can't handle it, I really got so much going on, for me, and or something like that. Or it's just so, I don't know, folks. I mean, another thing is that just before I sat down to do this recording, my neighbors' friends arrived. I suppose they're friends, and they're very white picket fence kind of people. They're very straight as an arrow, which is fine for me. I prefer that than rather other people who are drinkers and play loud music and parties. This is a family. There's a father, a mother, husband and a wife, and then the two children, and then they got another lady who stays at the back, who rents a room, named Sarah. And I mean, so their friends arrive. It's like, oh, hello, look at you, maybe they haven't seen for some time. Wow, somebody says to one of the children, let's say the guy next door, his name is David, the father's name is David, and Dave, or their wife, his name is Sharon, and Sharon sees her friend's child and says, oh, you look so pretty in that dress, don't you? And look at your hair, your mommy made your hair so nice, didn't she? And then Sharon's friend Bev is like, oh, Sharon, but you look amazing. I'm sorry. And look what you've done with the garden. I really, really like it. And then, Bev's husband, Dave, or Tony, let's say. Did I say Dave already? Tony says to, he's the macho kind of guy, and he's like, and something or other, and it's just so played. It's just so like disingenuous. It's just so like I can't. When you hear the high-pitched voices and them talking like this, and oh my word, and when the people when they're leaving, it's like. Oh, we've had so pity. Oh, we look so forward to seeing you again. Yes, and please come again. And then Bev will say to Sharon, we really love the cottage pie, even though that Tony, is a little bit off cheese at the moment or something like that. But next time, don't worry. And yes, and oh, and I mean, I know it's theatre play. And the next door neighbor, Sarah, the woman who rents in the room, she is the worst. I'm sorry to say. I just hear her from time to time. Folks, I don't eavesdrop. I don't care to. But, they're loud in that way, which is great to hear them upbeat, but it's so disingenuous. And so for myself, I can just imagine waking up in that house, just waking up in that house and being like, in the morning and coming from my world and coming from my depth and whatever it is. And everybody's like, preparing for the day, which is fine, but I mean all the relationship between the mom and the dad, and and it's just for myself, from what I feel from the outside at least, it's just so disingenuous. It's just like there's no real moments of authenticity. They live in an absolute some kind of reality. They really, really do. I mean, I spent, when I first moved into this house, I spent some time with the next door neighbors, like, just meeting them and whatever, and they're very nice on the surface of things and whatever it is, but it's like, I don't know, I wonder if they have, folks are, anyways, you know what I'm saying. And so I went up Table Mountain. I was in Cape Town last week, and I went up Table Mountain, and you can Google Table Mountain, and it's just, I went, with cable cars. It was such a powerful experience. It was so brilliant. It was so excellent. I mean, it was covered with cloud at the time, and so it was very cold but very misty, so misty, and it was beautiful because like 1 minute the sun would be out, the next minute it would be overcasted, and you couldn't see very far in front of you, and you just felt like lost on the mountain. It was just so wondrous, and the energy was just so pure and brilliant, and you could see for miles in every direction. Right, and you could see the ocean. I mean, you can Google Table Mountain and just see views from Table Mountain. I mean, it was just exquisite. And I was just trying to catch my breath all the time at the awe of this, at the energy. The energy was so peaceful. It was so, I mean, but there were not thousands, but there were hundreds of people. Like, thousands of people go up every day and, come up and down every day, a whole bunch of tourists. And I just wanted to sit and meditate, but again, people were making noise and hustling and bustling and taking photos. Everybody just taking thousands and thousands of photos, literally at every angle from every part of the mountain. And I'm just trying to sort of take in the moment, right? And anyways, after time, it was closing, so I left and went down, and I went with somebody else, and like for them, they didn't sit in the car and catch our breath and reflect on it, and for themselves, they weren't even interested. Again, they were back on their cell phone looking at the pictures that they took, whatever, and like I just bet that there was no deep reflection for anybody. Most people, I don't know necessarily, but that's just the way I felt. Like we're waiting in the queue. It's probably about a 45-minute wait to go back down. Just so many people. And so, you can just see that people, and nobody, I mean, especially when you're on holiday, and this is the thing, folks, it's like, I don't have time. You don't have time in the world today to sort of just stop, reflect, take it in, register, and even talk to other people about your deep experience. Like it's just, firstly, there's possibly no one around, or there's no time to do it. It's on to the next thing. I mean, the next day after I went up Table Mountain, I went to an aquarium, and I just was just absolutely mind blown by it, and when they were actually closing, so I only had 2 hours to walk around, and I said to the woman at the front desk, was 2 hours enough? And she said, sure, it's plenty, you can do it like in half an hour. So I thought, oh well. I realized I could be there for the whole day, like literally just reading up on the sea life, standing under the glass. It's not really glass, but watching the what a beautiful place to meditate. What a beautiful place to take in the energies. It's just so beautiful. Music playing, these huge, massive window panes of, like aquarium, and it's beautiful. I could have just sat there for hours. But obviously you can't. I mean, the kids are also screaming there, and I want to see the doll, I want to see the sharks, and going all up, and that's kids, and that's great, and it's fun. But some of them are so badly behaved. So besides that, what I'm saying is that, like, just be able to catch my breath, just be able to just register what's happening, take in the energy, I mean, just the weirdness of all these creatures. It was so bizarre. I mean, they had these, I don't know how to describe them, these alien type of creatures in these tanks. It was so weird. Jellyfish of all kinds. Like, well, what? This weird alien life. Like, what's this about? There's so much to reflect on. Anyways, folks, I'm going way off the topic, but I'm not really, because what I'm saying is that the whole mystery of life, right, has to be very much handled, how would I say it, like, what you're going through, your deep experiences is almost very little time to reflect on. There's so much happening. There's not many people to reflect on with. And also at the same time, you living deep in the mystery is very hard to be doing it when you're around people who don't live deep in the mystery, right? For many different reasons. But for one is because, again, you're having to simmer it down for others, for yourself to have a personality, to wear a mask, that you're not so engaged in this existential reality, in this multidimensional universe, right? Below the surface of things, deep, right? Deep down. It's because they don't understand that. I mean, they know you on the surface level of things as being weird or eccentric or fringe or controversial or something like that, but they don't know the worlds that you reside in. They don't know the energies that you play in. They don't know the thoughts that you have. They can't understand it whatsoever, right? And so that you're having to wear some kind of mask, and you're having to simmer yourself down, and you're having to, like, engage with them politely on a level where they very much on the surface level of things, where they, the highlight of their day is their new TV series came out, or something like that, just came out. The TV series, the new season came out, or something or other. Like, for yourself, those kind of things. It's not very meaningful. Or like they're having a sale at on these watches, or or something or other. Just very superficial stuff, and the world is designed very superficially. Again, it's like it's just a business, right? And so the mystery doesn't exist in this world anymore. So those are the things that I feel. So for myself, mornings are hard, and I mean, it's challenging, but the day moves on and I get better with it. But it is what it is, and it just feels sometimes so extreme, the differences, because again, like, sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'll be sitting and thinking for like an hour and a half, and I have to do that. It's the greatest, most gorgeous time. It's the most lovely time of just sitting and being able to think about things, reflect on things, try to understand. I mean, there's just so much to think about. There's just so much to contemplate. And you know what? Sometimes I don't do myself any favors by being so often online, watching YouTube videos, documentaries, I don't know, podcasts or something like it, even though it's not sort of just nonsense, right? It's real deep stuff. I don't take the time in my own life to register my own deep experiences. I don't have time to reflect on that. I just don't have the space for it as well, because it's just go. And so it's hard, I would say, for the mystic. He really needs to take their time and catch their breath to deal within this world, right? Again, to simmer it down and wear a mask, and play it small, and at the same time, with everything going on, to keep a pace of things. I'm saying keep abreast of your experience, and try and, it's kind of milking your experiences as much as you possibly can, for the depth and the richness and the significance that you can, right? And what you're learning from it, the lessons that you learn. You're wanting to milk all of it, because there's so much to be milked and enjoyed and relish in, and so much, usefulness to get out of the insights and to get out of the experiences and the lessons and the meaning behind. There is just so much, but there's so much that you can, because, again, you've got to be selective. And sometimes you can't even be selective over the experiences that you want to, deeply delve into. Sometimes it's just like what's coming up for you, right? What's up close and personal that's happening for you? What's the feeling? What's the experience? What's the heartbreak? What's the anxiety? What's the despair? What's the grief? What's the joy? What's the ecstasy? What's the blissfulness, right? And so you don't know. You just move on, and you take a little bit of this, and you take a little bit of that, and and whatever it is, and you do the best that you can, because you can't capture it all, folks. You can't have it all, right? You can't know it all, and so it's like YouTube, again, you'll have 100, maybe you've been away from the PC, from the internet for a week. You get back, there's 150 new videos from all your favorite subscribers. How are you going to catch up on it, right? You've maybe got 3 hours of the day to lend to these videos, but the duration of their talks is, I don't know, 50 hours. So you can only afford 3 hours. So I'm a bit exaggerating, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pick and choose and just go with the flow and just go with whatever, wherever it takes you a lot of the time, whatever that means. All right, folks, got to get on with the day now. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll chat soon. Take care.